In December 1980, a full-page advertisement appeared in major Japanese newspapers. The image was strikingly simple: a cartoon hand holding an answer card, the kind used in television quiz shows to indicate correct responses. On the card were 4 characters: Mujirushi Ryohin. This was the announcement of Muji, whose name translates to no brand quality goods. At a time when Japan's bubble economy was reaching its zenith, when foreign luxury brands commanded premium prices and brand consciousness defined consumer culture, Muji proposed something radical: products with no brand identity, no decoration, and no excessive design. Today, Muji operates over 1,400 stores across more than 30 countries, offering more than 7,000 products, ranging from pens and storage containers to clothing, furniture, and even prefabricated houses. Yet, the company remains committed to the principles established at its founding: a design philosophy rooted in rational production, material honesty, and a distinctly Japanese conception of simplicity. The nation of Japan in the 1980s was experiencing unprecedented economic prosperity. The post-war reconstruction had transformed into sustained growth, and Japanese consumers possessed both purchasing power and an appetite for branded goods. Luxury products from Europe carried a particular prestige. The act of consumption itself had become conspicuous, with brand names serving as visible markers of taste and status. Muji was conceived as a direct response to this environment. The company was initially launched as a private brand within Seiyu, a supermarket chain owned by the Seizon retail conglomerate. The driving force behind this initiative was Seiji Tsutsumi, president of the Seizon Group, who, despite or perhaps because of his success in retail, harbored conflicted feelings about his role in promoting excessive consumption. Tsutsumi envisioned products that rejected the prevailing logic of the marketplace. Rather than competing through branding and marketing, these products would distinguish themselves through functional quality and reasonable pricing. The concept was shaped by 3 key figures: Ikko Tanaka, the graphic designer who would become Muji's first art director; Kazuko Koike, a marketing consultant; and Takashi Sugimoto, an interior designer. The initial product line consisted of 40 items: household goods, apparel, and food products. Each was deliberately designed to be generic. Where conventional packaging sought to attract attention, Muji products were wrapped in clear cellophane or plain brown paper. Where brands invested heavily in logos and distinctive marks, Muji products bore only essential information printed in simple typography. In Tanaka's visual identity work, the choice of craft paper was intentional. It represented pulp that had not been bleached, a material whose natural beige color spoke to resource efficiency and production honesty. The maroon type color became synonymous with the brand, but even this was rendered in straightforward sans serif characters. Every decision reinforced the central premise: that quality need not announce itself, and that function could exist without ornament. The timing proved fortuitous. While Japan's economy continued its growth trajectory, there existed a segment of consumers who felt alienated by excessive branding. These individuals valued practicality and function over status signaling. Muji offered them an alternative: products that, in the company's words, were just enough. From its inception, Muji's approach to product development had been governed by 3 fundamental principles: the selection of materials, the streamlining of processes, and the simplification of packaging. These principles have remained unchanged and form the foundation of the company's design philosophy. The first principle, material selection, begins with a search for appropriate raw materials on a global scale. Muji prioritizes natural materials and seeks out resources that others might overlook or discard. This includes industrial materials available in bulk, as well as items rejected for aesthetic reasons that do not affect functional quality. For example, the company uses fallen cotton fibers from the combing process to create textiles, collects candy pieces cut off during manufacturing to sell as products, and sources wood and metal that retain their natural colors and textures rather than applying synthetic finishes. This approach serves multiple functions. Economically, it allows Muji to maintain lower prices by utilizing materials that would otherwise go to waste. Environmentally, it reduces resource consumption. Philosophically, it aligns with a design ethos that values inherent qualities over artificial enhancement. A piece of furniture made from unfinished wood displays the material's natural grain. Paper made from unbleached pulp shows its actual color. The selection process itself becomes an ethical and aesthetic statement. The second principle addresses Muji's manufacturing process. Muji systematically reviews each step of production, eliminating procedures that do not contribute to functional quality. In conventional manufacturing, products undergo sorting by size and appearance, polishing to achieve uniform surfaces, and various finishing treatments to meet aesthetic standards. Muji questions these assumptions. An example of this is their white porcelain tableware. Traditional quality control might reject pieces with minor dark spots or irregular glaze flows. Muji instead revised these standards, recognizing that these variations do not affect the vessel's utility. Similarly, their unsorted sweets and snacks eliminate size and shape standardization. Their uneven Baumkuchen, a traditional layered cake, uses pieces that were rejected for aesthetic irregularities despite having identical taste and quality. This streamlining extends beyond individual products to their entire production systems. By removing unnecessary steps, Muji reduces both cost and resource consumption. More significantly, this approach challenges conventional notions of perfection. The company suggests that minor variations and irregularities are not flaws, but rather natural outcomes of manufacturing, things that don't need to be hidden or corrected if they do not impair function. The third principle concerns packaging simplification. Muji's approach here is deliberate and systematic. Packaging should not adorn, it should highlight the natural colors and shapes of products. Containers are uniform and minimal, bearing only essential information and the company's characteristic price tag. Clothing and household linens are sold with tags only, eliminating packaging entirely. This philosophy connects to the traditional Japanese aesthetic concept of su, meaning plain or unadorned. The idea that simplicity can possess greater appeal than luxury, and that modesty in presentation allows the essential qualities of an object to speak for themselves. Former chairman Masaki Kanai articulated this perspective. Muji offers objects that moderate excess and makes users feel the beauty and pride in living a simple and modest life. Together, these three principles create a coherent design methodology. Each principle reinforces the others, creating products that are simultaneously economical, environmentally conscious, and philosophically consistent. The visual and conceptual vocabulary that defines Muji cannot be separated from the designers who shaped it. Ikko Tanaka's contribution was foundational. Born in 1930, Tanaka studied at the Kyoto City School of Arts and developed a design approach that synthesized traditional Japanese aesthetics with modernist principles. His work often incorporated natural motifs rendered in geometric abstraction, an interpretation of Rinpa, a Japanese art movement focused on abstracted natural forms. For Muji, Tanaka established a visual language of radical simplicity. His 1980 announcement visual, the hand holding the answer card, demonstrated an ability to communicate complex ideas through minimal means. The reference to television quiz shows made the image immediately accessible across generations, while the craft paper background and maroon typography established an enduring aesthetic identity. Tanaka's aesthetic philosophy made it so that even complete absence of decoration, when grounded in necessity, could constitute outstanding design. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Tanaka created promotional materials that reinforced Muji's values. His posters often featured simple line drawings against monochromatic backgrounds with minimal text that allowed the product or concept to remain central. This restraint was strategic. In a market saturated with visual noise, Muji's communications stood apart through their quietness. When Tanaka passed away in 2002, the question of succession was significant. The person chosen to continue his work was Kenya Hara, a graphic designer and curator who had impressed Tanaka with his exhibition, Redesign, the Daily Products of the 21st Century. This 2000 exhibition challenged leading Japanese creators to redesign mundane objects, toilet paper, exit stamps, matches, and more, revealing hidden design possibilities in the everyday. Hara's appointment as art director began the evolution and expansion of Tanaka's vision. Where Tanaka had established the visual foundations, Hara would articulate the philosophical underpinnings. One of his most significant contributions has been the concept of emptiness, a framework that distinguishes Muji's approach from Western minimalism. Hara is careful to differentiate emptiness from simplicity. Minimalism, as developed in Western contemporary design, follows a rationalistic logic of reduction, stripping away elements until only the essential remains. Emptiness, by contrast, is not about subtraction, but about receptivity. It is, in Hara's formulation, a creative vessel. The Japanese term is ku, and it carries connotations absent from English translations. Ku suggests potential, openness, and the capacity to be filled. Hara explains this through the example of product naming. Where Western design might create a coffee table, a name that prescribes function, Muji prefers oak table, leaving the purpose open to user interpretation. The same surface might serve as a coffee table, work desk, or display platform. The emptiness of the designation allows for the fullness of possibility. This philosophy extends to product form. Hara contrasts two kitchen knives, a German Henkel's knife with an ergonomically contoured handle, and a Japanese Yanagiba knife with a simple cylindrical wooden grip. The German design instructs the hand where to hold it, optimizing for a particular grip. The Japanese design receives any grip, allowing for professional technique to emerge from the relationship between hand and tool. The simple form gives users freedom to develop their own handling methods. For Hara, this depth of possibility is emptiness. Muji products embody this principle structurally. A mattress with legs can function as a bed, sofa, or elevated floor. Storage units follow modular dimensions, allowing for infinite configurations. The company does not prescribe use cases. It creates frameworks within which users can build their own solutions to everyday problems. Hara's visual direction for Muji has translated this philosophy into communications. His 2003 corporate advertising campaign featured images of Earth and human figures photographed at the horizon. Later campaigns focused on hands at work or furniture designed by finding the natural angle of repose. These visuals invite interpretation rather than directing it. The concept of emptiness also shapes how Muji products relate to their environments. Rather than making bold statements that dominate space, Muji objects are designed to recede into the background of daily life, to become, as Hara puts it, part of the texture of living. A Muji storage system should feel equally appropriate in a Tokyo apartment, a London flat, or a New York studio, not because it is neutral, but because its emptiness allows it to receive the character of its surroundings. While Muji products carry no designer attribution, a deliberate extension of the no-brand philosophy, the company has worked extensively with renowned designers through its advisory board system. This structure, established to guide product development, includes figures such as Naoto Fukasawa, Jasper Morrison, James Irvine, Sam Hecht, and Konstantin Gierchik. Fukasawa's collaboration exemplifies this relationship. An industrial designer who had worked at IDEO before establishing his own firm, Fukasawa joined Muji's advisory board in 2002. His design philosophy, which he terms without thought, focuses on products that align with unconscious human behavior, objects that feel so natural in use that they seem to dissolve into action. His approach emphasizes what he calls micro-consideration, attention to subtle details that make products feel exactly right without users consciously recognizing the design decisions involved. The advisory board serves multiple functions. Members contribute to product development, evaluating prototypes, and suggesting refinements. They also provide strategic guidance, helping Muji maintain design consistency as the company expands globally. Critically, they help preserve the philosophical foundations even as product categories multiply. This collaborative model allows Muji to access world-class design expertise while maintaining its no-brand identity. By not attributing products to individual designers, the company keeps focus on the objects themselves rather than on authorship. Muji's international trajectory began modestly. In 1983, the company opened its first independent store in Tokyo's Aomaya district, moving beyond the supermarket private label model. The success of this standalone format validated the concept, and the company began developing product lines that could support an independent retail operation. Throughout the 1980s, Muji focused on domestic growth while beginning to establish global supply chains. In 1985, the company initiated overseas production and procurement. By 1986, it was placing direct factory orders, and by 1987, it was developing materials globally. This expansion of manufacturing capabilities allowed Muji to scale production while maintaining quality standards and cost targets. The first international store opened in London in 1991. This was not a hasty expansion. Muji had participated in an exhibition of Japanese products in London in the late 1980s, generating interest from British retailers, including Harrods. The company declined these partnership opportunities, citing cultural mismatches. The philosophy towards expansion remained consistent. Muji opens a second store in a region only after the first has proven profitable, and operational issues have been resolved. This patience reflects the company's broader design philosophy, a rejection of the growth-at-all-costs mentality that drives much of contemporary retail. By the 2010s, Muji's international presence had grown substantially. The company had entered the United States in 2007 with a store in Manhattan's Soho neighborhood, chosen for its concentration of design-conscious consumers. The success exceeded expectations, leading to additional New York locations and eventual expansion to other American cities. China has become particularly significant for Muji's international operations. The company opened its first Shanghai store in 2005 and has since expanded to over 400 locations in mainland China. Muji established standards for store design layout and merchandising, ensuring consistency while training staff to communicate the brand philosophy effectively. The company has faced some challenges in international markets as well. High operating costs in Western cities, competition from both established retailers and local imitators, trademark disputes in various jurisdictions, and the need to adapt products to local preferences while maintaining design consistency have all tested Muji's expansion strategy. The sickness in 2020 resulted in temporary store closures and, in the United States, a Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing, though operations continued and the company has since stabilized. Despite these challenges, Muji has continued expanding product categories and store formats. The company now operates cafes and restaurants under the Cafe Muji and Meal Muji brands, focusing on simple preparation that highlights ingredient quality. It has opened hotels in Shenzhen, Beijing, and Tokyo's Ginza district, and operates campgrounds in scenic areas of Japan. Muji has even ventured into architecture and spatial design, offering prefabricated houses and interior design services. This diversification reflects the maturation of Muji's concept. What began as a product brand has evolved into a comprehensive lifestyle proposition. The underlying philosophy remains constant: rational design, material honesty, and functional simplicity. But its application has expanded to encompass increasing dimensions of contemporary life. As of 2025, Muji operates over 1,400 stores globally. The significance of Muji extends beyond its commercial success. The company has demonstrated that alternatives to conventional branding strategies can succeed in global markets. It has shown that consumers exist who value function over fashion, quality over status, and simplicity over complexity. It has created a design language that communicates across cultural boundaries while remaining rooted in Japanese aesthetic traditions. Muji's three manufacturing principles, material selection, process streamlining, and packaging simplification, constitute a reproducible methodology. Other companies can adopt these approaches, but few, if any, have achieved Muji's level of philosophical consistency. The concept of emptiness that Kenya Hara has articulated provides a framework for thinking about design differently. Emptiness asks what it could be in relation with users and contexts. This shift in perspective, from objects as complete statements to objects as frameworks for user solutions, represents a genuine alternative to Western design paradigms. Looking forward, Muji faces the challenges confronting all global retailers: maintaining identity while expanding, adapting to local markets while preserving core values, competing with both established players and emerging alternatives, and responding to evolving consumer expectations around sustainability and ethics. The company's structure, including its advisory board system and its commitment to its design principles, provide resources for addressing these challenges. Muji has created something distinctive in the landscape of contemporary design. It has shown that simplicity does not mean cheapness, that lack of branding isn't lack of identity, and that Japanese design principles can translate effectively to global markets. The company's 46-year history demonstrates both the viability and the ongoing relevance of design approaches that prioritize function, honesty, and restraint. This has been Design Docs, one about Muji. I think this might be my first one on a company. I definitely enjoyed making this one. It was fun to explore the history of a company rather than just an individual. If this video is something you guys enjoyed, it would be super helpful if you would leave a like on the video or subscribe to the channel, or even consider becoming a channel member or patron. All members or patrons receive videos a little bit early, usually on Fridays, sometimes a bit earlier, as well as a shout out at the end of the video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.